Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Haven't seen you for a while. We've been pretty busy with our new house and having a child named Blakelyn, and it's been so much fun, but we are getting close to starting seeds. So we want to let you guys know what we're up to with our 2025 garden. Alec and I went through all of our seeds and determined what all we wanted to order again and what new items we wanted to order. So we're gonna just show you all that today. We did start a gardening book, which is kind of nice this year. Alec drawed out our big garden, so that's really nice. We're gonna draw in and see what plants are gonna go where and so forth. Kind of drew a little sketch already as well, but we seed start to get some of our seeds to start earlier because some need a head start before getting into the garden. I mostly do the seed starting, but hopefully Alec gets into it this year too. It's so rewarding to start your own seeds and see them success in it just because you started them. You get to do everything to start them up. So it's really rewarding to start seeds. I think it's really fun. We got all of our soil we want to do. We're going to put our soil in a tote this year, but we'll show you how we mix all that and all that stuff in a different video. But with this video, I just wanted to show you what seeds we were going to direct sow, which ones we're going to start in February, which ones we're going to start in March. It really just depends on what your zone is and when your last frost date is. Our last frost date is May, and normally around Mother's Day. Sometimes it can go later than that, but especially with like onions, potatoes, like the cold vegetables can normally go out right on Mother's Day, and we try to do that just so then they're in the ground, and those take a little bit longer in the ground, so we try to get those in the ground as fast as possible. We do have a lot of seeds that we had already, but we did order a lot of new seeds. So what we're direct sowing, this is just our preference. We're going to try new stuff. We're going to try what we tried last year just to see what we like and what we don't like. Everyone's different. So green beans, we're going to direct sow this year. We started them last year and they did not do very good. We put some in the ground last year and then we started some last year, and the ones that we just direct sowed did amazing. So we're just gonna do that this year, and we did do another direct sow in the fall. So we did have lots of green beans, but we want more green beans, so we're gonna do lots more this year. Very excited about that. Our sweet corn did amazing last year. We're gonna do a lot of that this year as well. And popcorn, not as much popcorn I don't think, but we do have a lot of popcorn left still. Carrots, we planted our carrots in a little flower box, whatever you call it, and they did amazing. So I think we're going to do that again, just direct sow. Last year we direct sowed a squash. We're going to do that again this year, but we are also going to start some squash, seed start them. Peas, we didn't do much peas. We got peas last fall, and they did very well in the cold weather, but we're going to do that in the spring as well. We're going to try asparagus. We're not going to do asparagus in our garden because it does take a lot more space and it grows really tall. So we're trying to figure out where we're going to put that, and it does take a few years to get asparagus. So we'll keep you posted on that. We're very excited to do peanuts. It's kind of different to do peanuts, but I'm excited to do like peanut butter, just eat roasted peanuts, salted peanuts. I really like that, so we're gonna do that. So I'm really excited about that. Last year we seed started sunflowers, but this year we're gonna try it differently because they didn't last as long and they died, and they didn't last all summer long like we wanted them to, and they didn't grow as tall. So we're just gonna experiment and just see what happens there. Spinach, we started spinach in a flower pot and they did very well. They're a really good pot vegetable, so we're just gonna do that. And it doesn't take that long at all, and we'll probably do 2 startings of that, one in the spring and then one in the fall. And like I said, we're gonna do potatoes. Potatoes are not going to be in our garden. They're going to be on the side of our garden along the fence line because they take up a lot of space. We're going to plant a lot. We're going to get 5-pound bags of potatoes, and we're going to let them get sprouts on them. And we normally cut them in half or 3s, and we'll just plant them in the ground, and that's how we get our potatoes. Really excited to do sweet potatoes this year. We tried them last year, but we were kind of late on it, so we didn't plant them correctly. We knew that, and it wasn't successful. But now this year, I'm ahead of the game, and I have my sweet potatoes, and I'm going to start them in February. I wrote down little notes, and I'm going to do a video on that just to show you what we're going to try, and we'll show you the process of it. So I'm excited about that, to actually have sweet potatoes this year. With our seeds, we put them all in bags just to keep them separated. With a whole bunch of seeds, they just in one pile is kind of overwhelming, and just a whole bunch there. We're maybe going to get something else to organize them, but this will do right now. We did have some seeds from last year, so we're going to make sure we plant those first and then use our 2025 seeds that we got new. We marked them with 2025 if they're ones that we received this year, so that's how we'll be able to tell which ones were from last year and which ones were from this year that we need to plant. So we made up some notes on which ones we're going to start in mid to end February. So this is our February packet. And like I said, it really just depends on your last frost date. We're in zone 5, so we get to determine that, and it says on the back of the sheet like when to, if you're wanting to start them inside for time, it says to start them 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. But really with herbs, you can start them whenever you want. They're not that picky of a plant. We're gonna plant them in these little boxes up here, and you really don't need them under the light either. The light from the window is just fine too. We didn't do herbs last year, so this is kind of new for me, but I'm kind of excited to have fresh herbs at home and cook with them and dry them and all that good stuff. I'm gonna have broccoli during February, Brussels sprouts. Our Brussels sprouts did okay last year. They were huge, but the Brussels sprouts weren't really that big, so we're hoping if we start them even earlier this year, they'll have more time. They take a lot to mature. It says on here 85 to 110 days, so it does take a long time for them. We're gonna prune them this year. It says to prune them and then full sun. They are cold tolerant, so that's good. They can be in your garden literally all summer, fall, so that's good. This one's new. We're gonna try red cabbage this year. It's really good for coleslaw, of course, but even just for salads, so that will be good. Butternut squash, we're gonna try just seed starting, but we'll also do it direct soda as well. Regular cabbage, we have 2 of these. This one's from last year and this one is for this year, so we'll make sure to use this one first. I had a really fun with cabbage last year. We did sauerkraut for the first time and it's so good. I love it. Whole bunch of peppers. We did get some new peppers, but these ones are older, so we'll make sure we plant all those this year. But we got some hot peppers this year. This one's habanero. Ghost. A whole bunch of peppers. Salsa. I made candy jalapenos. Those are amazing. I really want to make jelly, pepper jelly. So that's on my to-do list. Whole bunch of tomatoes. As you see, we have most of our seeds from In My Gardener. In My Gardener has been so good to us. We really like them, and we've done lots of research on which seed companies are good, and then it's just really your preference. I encourage you to check In My Gardener out. They have so much more than just seeds. They have supplies as well that we have purchased before too. So check them out if you haven't already. But we're going to start our tomatoes earlier this year because they weren't as big when we put them out in the garden this year. So we kind of want them bigger. So that's why we're going to start them a little bit earlier. Strawberries. We have strawberries in our garden now, but this is what we have left. So we're just going to plant them. As you probably know, strawberries are a perennial plant, so they come back every year. So it's going to be nice to kind of have 2 different plantings of strawberries. I'm going to try celery. Celery takes a long time to plant as well, so that's why we're going to start that. It takes 100 days to mature, so I'm going to try that. That's going to be good in like chicken salad, tuna salad, seafood salad, salads in general. Onions. I was kind of sad with our onions this year. They did great, but didn't have a lot. So I'm going to plant a lot this year, and I am going to hopefully have them dry out, so hopefully we have onions all year round. And these are basically like green onions, yellow onions, and then red onions. So we do have some left from last year, so we'll make sure to plant those first, but we're most likely going to use most of these. And then one of our friends gave us some of their spaghetti squash seeds, so we're going to try that. It's called $1 Million Spaghetti Squash, so excited to try that. Our squash did amazing last year. We only had 1 spaghetti squash plant, literally planted, and we had tons and tons, which was amazing. So excited to try this. So if you guys do something different with how you store your seeds or how you figure out when to plant them and all that stuff, drop it in the comments. That would be really interesting to see if you do something different.